So under here, see these two screws? That's where the two holes are in this bottom section. For those two screws that go through that leather part, I've just reattached them while the leather's out the car. This one's meant to go onto there, but it was missing a screw, so I need to find one to fix that on. As for the carpets themselves, I mean, this is what, 14 years old now, so these, you can tell the glue's just kind of come off. So that's how you simply, you can see hardly any effort's needed to get that off. All the radio wiring you can see coming through here, the aerial. The previous owners wired in a load of stuff that I'm getting rid of and replacing with better stuff. But in general, that's where all your wiring comes through from the rear speakers. Here's the air vents, I'm told. This is for the cool air, this is for the hot air. On the forums, mine had this part connected to there, and there's a little white plastic thing stuck in here which I've accidentally knocked into the front of the car by trying to get it out. So I need to take the bonnet off to get that out. A-pillars, someone was saying about how do you get to the metal in the A-pillars. You'll see the metal's here and runs up straight inside. You could, in theory, run it up, I guess, but you'll have trouble attaching it anywhere up this end unless you're going to drill a hole in this or tear it off and try to re-stick it, because this doesn't really come off very easily. You're going to do some damage, I think, to the leather if you're trying to mess around with that, or at least you'll struggle to get it looking good afterwards. So as a result, when I'm dyeing this inside, I'm going to just leave it on. So there we go. Hopefully that allows you to see a fair bit in here. We've got door control units, the switches for the left door, right door, that should just unplug as little plastic things. They're the things that plug into the head unit. They're just simple metal buttons that plug into these. The car quite happily starts up and stuff without having any of the electronics. You'll see, because this attaches normally from here, bolts onto the bar going across the top part, this all sits further up because, as you can see from the steering down here, it's just hanging at the moment. So you can see the bend from it's because it's obviously not being held into place properly. So yeah, I wouldn't drive it like this at the moment. I've taken out all the metal bits accordingly. Yeah, you can see the massive nuts, all of those in there of both types were all just in the metal bar. These are the bit brackets that are at the end, holding the whole thing in place. This bit of leather here, I'm not sure, yeah, it looks like it's going to be difficult to get off as well, but the carpet just peels straight off. It looks like at the bottom the leather's just stuck on. So there we go. Inside here we've got your seatbelt bits. I don't know if you see it on the camera. There's just a bolt down here, and this all just comes off. Again, we'll try and improve the look of that in time. You can see where the battery cable comes through. Mine seems to have an earthing point there in the footwell on the right, but I don't know if that's standard or someone's run a wire through. But that's where all the cables seem to earth in mine, behind the carpet there. So if that's useful to anyone to know. What else? We've got the heater control unit there. So that's sitting in the passenger footwell. See the grommet running some wiring through from the front. So if you need to connect stuff through there. What else? Not sure what else would be useful to see, but that's about it really. If there's anything you want me to look at or point out that you think could be useful for people to know. Hyper frequency module, no idea what that's to do with. The alarm system maybe. So there we go. That's inside the Mark 1 Tuscan. Floor mats, you can see the floor mats literally just go straight to the bodywork, and then the carpets are just go up to that point. So this whole piece I'm just going to pull off and replace. You can see where the air diverts. So for instance, you've got this isn't connected well, that you're going to lose a lot of air down here, and instead of it being guided across the top So your vents, which come in here. Hello. So yeah, there we go. Oh yes, this just unscrews. So when you take the leathers off here, that's just literally screws in there. Yeah, can't think of anything else to point out. This just unplugs to take when you remove this whole thing. This is quite easy to take off as well, this whole bit section. When sorting out the steering wheel, you can see I've switched my steering wheel for a Momo Millennium, and then I've just created a carbon fiber effect with a metal TVR logo, and then kind of laminated it with some resin, and then that's to match the wheel centers. So obviously on my hub, on these I've done the same for my alloys. These are just the stainless steel that's you can get, and then the badge I've done a similar effect, so you can see, and then I put in these LEDs inside the badge, so it lights up as a little smiley face. Again, so it matches all the theme of the exhaust. This is a deep red candy. Probably looks a little bit lighter on the camera than it does in real life. So there you go, that's my car. And then if you look at some of the bits I've taken out as a result, this is where it normally resides, just the carport, I guess. It doesn't have a roof, but it seems happy enough for those of you worried about leaving a car outdoors. Here's all the different bits. Obviously these are at the end of each shelf. That's where those two bolts go through, holding that in place. This is a big metal bar. You'll see these little sliders, so they have to be set into the right position when it's screwed back in. So all of those are all connected. You can see this is the center bit of fiberglass for the center panel where the gear stick and handbrake are. This is my top part. This will be dyed in black. This is a bastard to get out, excuse the language. So basically you have to cut through this section here unless you're planning to remove the steering column, but I mean it's not used for structural reasons, so it doesn't really matter. And what I'll probably do, because I've kept the little piece, is have that attached to an actual piece of carpet that goes across, so that way it'll just velcro back into place. I'm planning to velcro all the carpet on rather than glue it, because it just seems to make sense to me. But we'll see how that goes. I'll try it out. I don't know if anyone else has done the same thing. Equally, this part doesn't pop out, so I had to remove a bit of it to be able to get the immobilizer that normally plugs in here. Let's get that out. That's just an LED light on there, I think. Oh no, that's a button. So yeah, that just unplugged. And then the other bits of the car so far. So I had a first go at spraying it. So I've done the centre bit in black, seats in, it's like a dark red, looks lighter on camera, but it's a pretty dark maroon colour to match the car. So I had a go at spraying those. Reasonably happy with how it's come out. And you can see the seat here as well I've done. And again, just to match the other theme throughout the car, I've got the little metal logo just literally stuck on, because I mean how your head will rest, that should be fine where it is. So that's the plan there. So I think that looks pretty nice for the kind of silver black contrast. I just literally masking taped over bits that I didn't want sprayed. Simple enough. Heat gun just to speed up the drying. You just use a hairdryer when you're doing it. Yeah, same, you know, for these bits I've just literally taped over the lights, so I'll just pull off at the end. So yeah, mainly a black theme with the odd dark red accents. That's it really, guys. If there's anything you want to see in detail or me to point out on camera, let me know and I'll do my best.